Hi there, and welcome back to SkyCalm, the Fear-Free Flying podcast. I'm your host, Hope, and today we're going to tackle one of the biggest triggers for anxious flyers, turbulence. If you've ever gripped the armrest, closed your eyes, and braced yourself during a bumpy flight, you're definitely not alone. Turbulence feels unpredictable. It's physical. It often shows up without warning. And for a lot of people, it feels like the moment where everything could go wrong. But what if I told you that turbulence, while uncomfortable, is not actually dangerous? In this episode, we're going to talk about what turbulence really is, separate myths from facts, and share what pilots actually say about it. By the end, you'll hopefully have a new perspective and maybe even a little peace about those bumps in the sky. Let's start with the basics. What is turbulence? Turbulence is simply irregular movement of air. Just like waves in the ocean, the air around us moves in patterns, and sometimes those patterns get bumpy. Planes experience turbulence when they fly through different air currents, like jet streams, those fast-moving ribbons of air high up in the atmosphere. Thermals, rising warm air from the ground, especially over deserts or mountains. Weather fronts, when different temperature systems collide. Wake turbulence, air disturbance left by another plane. Mountain waves, when wind flows over mountain ranges. That's it, it's air moving differently, and the plane flying through it. Now to your body, it can feel intense. Maybe your stomach drops, maybe your drink spills, maybe the plane feels like it's bobbing or shaking. That reaction is real, but what's important to understand is that turbulence doesn't mean something is wrong. It doesn't mean the plane is going to crash. Why turbulence feels dangerous, but isn't. So if it's not dangerous, why does it feel so terrifying? It comes down to control and unpredictability. Turbulence can trigger your fight or flight response because you didn't see it coming. You don't know how long it will last. You're thousands of feet in the air. Your body interprets sudden motion as a threat. But the truth is, planes are built for turbulence. They're tested in extreme conditions, designed to flex and absorb movement, and routinely handle far more stress than anything turbulence can cause. In fact, turbulence is a normal part of flying. Pilots expect it. Flight attendants are trained for it. The plane is engineered for it. Most of the time, pilots don't even consider turbulence a concern. It's more of a comfort issue than a safety one. What pilots say about turbulence. Want to know how unbothered pilots are by turbulence? Here's a quote from a commercial airline captain. "To us, turbulence is like driving over a bumpy road. It might not be pleasant, but it's not dangerous. We just change altitude and carry on." Another said, "We go through turbulence all the time. The plane is fine. The wings are supposed to flex. It's like riding waves in a boat." And this is key. When turbulence hits, the pilot is often already one step ahead, either adjusting altitude, talking to air traffic control, or simply waiting it out. It's annoying. It's uncomfortable, but it's not unsafe. In fact, turbulence almost never causes damage to an aircraft. The only injuries that typically occur during turbulence happen when passengers or crew aren't buckled in. That's why you hear the seatbelt sign ding before or during a bumpy patch. It's precaution, not panic. So the next time the plane shakes a bit, remember, the pilot isn't freaking out. The aircraft isn't struggling. The wings aren't at risk. What you're feeling is normal movement in the sky, just like a boat rocking with the current. Myths versus facts about turbulence. Let's break down a few common myths that feed into flight anxiety. Myth 1, turbulence can bring down a plane. Fact, commercial aircraft are tested to withstand far more force than turbulence ever causes. Turbulence has never caused a modern, structurally sound plane to crash. Myth 2, the pilot might lose control. Fact, pilots are trained to fly through turbulence and adjust course or altitude when needed. Control is never lost. Myth 3, if the plane drops suddenly, it means we're falling. Fact, what feels like a drop is usually just a momentary downward air current. It might feel big, but it's usually just a few feet of vertical movement. Myth 4, if the wings shake, they might snap off. Fact, aircraft wings are made to flex. In lab tests, they're bent to extremes well beyond anything that happens during flight. Myth 5, the silence from the cockpit means something is wrong. Fact, no news is good news. Pilots only speak when needed, and during turbulence, they're usually focused on minor adjustments, not emergencies. Knowledge truly is power when it comes to calming fear. How to stay calm during turbulence. So, Now that we know turbulence is normal, what can we do when it starts and our body goes into panic mode? Here are a few simple, practical steps. Ground your body, sit back, press your feet into the floor, and gently press your hands into your thighs or the armrests. Feel the contact points. Tell your body, I'm grounded, I'm supported. Use your breath. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Longer exhales activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the calming part of your brain. In the SkyCalm app, we've built guided breathing patterns you can follow with visuals or audio. Just press breathe and let it walk you through the rhythm. Shift your focus. Distraction is your friend. Put on a calming playlist, listen to an audiobook, or watch something light. Avoid staring out the window or hyper-focusing on every movement. Repeat calming truths. Say to yourself, turbulence is uncomfortable, not unsafe. The pilots are trained. The plane is built for this. This will pass. Use SkyCalm's SOS button. If panic starts to rise, hit the SOS in the app. It will walk you through a short, grounding practice with a calming voice to help you regulate. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode helped you feel even a little bit better about flying, consider sharing it with someone else who needs a little reassurance in the sky. And I have exciting news. Our app, SkyCalm, is now officially live on the iOS App Store and available for free download. SkyCalm was created specifically for people who experience anxiety while flying. Inside the app, you'll find real-time breathing exercises, a panic relief SOS button, answers to common flight questions, and a journal to help you track your progress and wins, even the small ones. Whether you're at the gate, mid-turbulence, or just mentally preparing for your next trip, SkyCalm is there to support you. Just search SkyCalm in the App Store, download it for free, and start flying with more confidence and calm. You're not alone in this. You're learning, you're growing, and most of all, you're flying. Until next time, breathe deep, stay curious, and remember, turbulence is just movement, not danger.